3, 2, 1.
Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie Anthony Show. Hello, Carla Marie.
Good morning. Hi, Anthony.
We have our Valentine's Day set up. We've got a little fireplace in the back, some red lights. We've got a little champagne.
Oh, they look orange on there.
No, they're red. I got a little champagne and some chocolate-covered strawberries from Fistful of Cake. And they are really, really good chocolate-covered strawberries. So if you ever need them, order them from Fistful of Cake because they're really, really good.
It's actually good to know because that light in here is super red.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not there.
I mean, it's reddish. It's a little more orange, I guess. But that's something we can figure out later. We, first off, thank you to everyone who's gotten us through Hype Train Level 3 already. We're 57% of the way through that level. But since we signed off on Thursday, this studio has been in like digital reconstruction mode. And we have new internet today, so we should be streaming a little better. But that was not an easy process.
No.
It started working. We've gone through 3 modems, thanks to the contractors that CenturyLink hires out here.
8 or 9 hours they spent in this home?
Total? Yeah, total looking closer to 10 probably between 2 days. It's been a journey. So we thank you guys for hanging out with us. We are excited that it actually works.
Ooh, there's a little bug.
A bug?
We have them in the bathroom too. They're little gnats.
Oh, okay.
It's not coming.
It's fruit. So
yes. No. Tell me why there are gnats in our bathroom.
I don't know.
In the dead of winter.
Maybe there's some poop laying around. I don't know.
Okay, wait. Mama Sarah said, "Can you send my husband some Valentine's tips?" Here's the thing.
I can't.
Anthony's dad bought these for us.
Mm-hmm. But I presented it like this. So a little backtracking here. My mother and my aunt flew up from Los Angeles on Friday, right? Thursday night. And because my cousin Michelle, who runs Fistful of Cake, is located in LA, they brought up these from her shop.
We started the weekend with
champagne's courtesy of Seattle Cocktail Week.
We started the weekend with how many strawberries?
Oh, like 30?
This is what's left.
And now we have 8 or 9 left. They're really good. And chocolate-covered strawberries are funny because they're delicious. They are romantic, right? They're great for celebrations in general, but they're kind of a bitch to eat.
They are. There's like no sexual way to eat
it. Because the chocolate breaks, and then it's a little bit sticky.
When the CenturyLink guy was here, I offered him a chocolate-covered strawberry.
So, and I didn't put it on the list. Hold on.
Why did you make that face?
I didn't put this on the list because we have a couple things to talk about. I didn't even put CenturyLink on here. But there are so many things that we have to talk about from his trip. But explain the chocolate-covered strawberry thing with him.
I offered him one of these chocolate-covered strawberries, and they are so cute. Mm-hmm. Like, the fact they're sitting here and I'm not eating them is very hard for me. And they're very good. And I offered him one. He was like, "Oh, sure, I'll have one." And he looked at it. He goes, "Oh, are you sure you want me to have one of those?" And I was like, "What?" I'm like offering them. He's like, "Those are the expensive kind." And I was like, "Are they not expensive? What do you mean?"
They do look very fancy.
He was like, "They look so pretty or something." And I was like, "I mean, they are.
They're very well done." But since it's not on the list, we'll talk about the CenturyLink thing until Hype Train Level 5 is done. Because once that's done, we can pop the champagne. We can have some...
I wish CenturyLink was paying us for this.
We can have some chocolate-covered strawberries and do our Valentine's Day toast. But he was here for so long. So Thursday he came and he set everything up. And he was here for about 3 hours. It was the regular appointment time to get everything installed, run it from the big telephone poles. But it wasn't working properly when he left. So he gave me his number. Luckily, he also left some equipment here.
By accident.
So I had it hostage for a little bit. But he came to pick up the equipment, came with another modem. He was going to help us out. He ended up here for about 4.5 to 5 hours.
On
Friday. He was here for so long that we fed him dinner. We gave him chocolate-covered strawberries. And the day before, he was having a little bit of a migraine, and he mentioned that he forgot to drink his coffee that day. So I gave him, and I was like, "We don't have any coffee, but I do have these gummies from our friends at Seattle Gummy Company." And I was like, "They're a partner of ours." And he took them, and I gave him a whole box of Seattle Gummy Company gummies, a variety box, on his way out. So this guy made out pretty good. I mean, we took up his whole day.
Yeah.
but still. I mean, he was here for a whole day.
And he even said he was going to come back to like fine tune things. So we'll see.
Yeah, we've got to be in touch with him today.
But
yeah, no, it was funny too because it's not like I even offered him regular food. My mom was here, my aunt was here. So one of the things, and if you listen to the My Day Friday podcast, you know I was trying to do this. I cooked with my mom this weekend. She taught me how to make some Arabic dishes, some really simple ones, and I had just finished making one, so that's what we served him.
it was really good.
And it was really good. He enjoyed it.
Also, I just saw that Justin said he got paid for that, though. He did not.
Well, he got paid
For
originally.
day one, not day two.
Well, in day one, he got paid for. Day two, he also did get paid for, but they get paid per job, not per hour.
So
by the time he left us, he was 100%, and he was making less than minimum wage by the time that he left.
Well, yeah. Food came out really good. Anthony did a good job.
It was good stuff. I made some hummus. I made some lebneh. I made some maftoul, which is a dish that has chicken, onions, chickpeas, and served over like acini pepe noodles, which we discovered are very similar to pastina. We only have, 90 seconds or so to get through Hype Train Level 5 and keep the streak going. And once we do that, get a little champagne.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And then your mom flew home to New Jersey and then taught your brother's girlfriend how to make a different Arabic dish.
Yep.
Damn, she's flying all over just cooking.
She is. I don't know why you said cooking like that.
I don't know. I think I was going to say more things and it stopped.
There we go. Hype Train Level 5 is complete. Carla Marie, can you grab the champagne glasses?
I feel like I need a detox after this weekend because I do feel like all we did was eat and drink.
Yeah.
Friday night, between me, your mom, and your aunt, I think we each had a bottle of wine.
Yeah, I drank nothing on Friday.
And then on Saturday, we started the day. We went to Watson's Counter, and I started my morning with chicken and waffles, which really shouldn't be a breakfast.
It's great though.
It's so good. And then you drove your mom to the airport, and then your aunt and I got a drink at Matt's in the Market. That was all before noon. And then we went to Ray's Boathouse and
Drank
had more
some
drinks.
more there.
Clam chowder. I wonder
The
why.
dishwasher didn't do a good job with this one.
That's you, right?
It's very spotty.
You really shouldn't put those in the dishwasher. I told you that.
Why?
Because
They're just glass. All right. Here we go. Just try to make sure it's even,
oh my God, this is our first Valentine's Day in public.
Cool.
I have a picture of Valentine's Day last year, and you're kissing me.
No. Stop it.
I do.
Stop that.
I'm going to share it.
All right. Cheers. Carla Marie, grab your champagne. Cheers. Thank you guys for getting us through Hype Train Level 5 again. And happy Valentine's Day to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Well, did anyone, I know today is still Valentine's Day, but most people probably celebrated over the weekend. Did anyone in the chat, and we are going to move on for a second, but did anyone in the chat have some crazy cool experience, get proposed to, something special on Valentine's Day?
Or crappy experience?
Or that.
I saw one of, I guess that's Super Bowl related.
What?
Oh, wait.
Okay, well, the first thing we have on the list after our Valentine's Day toast is the Super Bowl.
Let people respond to your question. My parents are doing dinner tonight.
Like at home, or are they going out to dinner?
They're going out to dinner.
All right.
Seems like everyone had a wild
Seems
Valentine's
like,
Day weekend.
It seems like nothing really happened. All right.
Okay.
Whoa, that's cool. Mikey0875 said, my first date with my wife was 18 years ago on Valentine's Day.
What are you doing a first date on Valentine's Day? Are you crazy? You have to marry them at that
You want to hear something one of my friends did on Valentine's Day? So he was, in the intro part of dating this girl. It was getting a little more serious. And he waited specifically till Valentine's Day to ask her to be his girlfriend. And his theory was, well, if we break up, then I'll just ruin Valentine's Day for the rest of her life.
I did that for somebody.
Oh, yeah, didn't you break up with someone on Valentine's Day? And why did you have to wait for Valentine? Why did you wait on Valentine's Day? Why didn't you do it a day before, a day after?
Because we hadn't hung out in a bit, and then we went on our Valentine's Day date, and I was like, yeah, I don't like this anymore.
Okay. All right.
So
Let's see.
it's a day of doom. Be careful. See if you make it through.
Court said, Mike and I had our first date on Valentine's Day. A true recipe for success. It looks like it. We got two pretty good anecdotes there.
Wow.
Yeah, but right now everyone's working, so obviously a proposal won't be happening right now, I don't think.
But
Unless someone like showed up to work with flowers.
a proposal happened after the Super Bowl last night.
Okay.
One of the Rams players, Rapp, I don't know his first name, R-A-P-P.
Okay, I don't
That's
know.
his last name. He proposed to his girlfriend on the field, and I was like, well, first of all, one, where's that ring the whole time? Like, who's in charge of that?
I'm sure there's a trainer or an assistant coach.
I do not want that job. And what if they lost? What was his backup plan? He was not going to propose.
Well, that same thing happened, this is years ago when Boise State beat Oklahoma in a bowl game. I want to say it was the Fiesta Bowl. And the winning play was a run play. And the running back, like, once the game was over, ran over to his girlfriend and proposed.
This.
And I was like,
Just-
that had to, and they're still married today, thankfully, which is pretty cool. But that has to be a spur of the moment thing. But then I don't even know if he had the ring in for the Boise State guy. Obviously, the Rams player had a ring.
It's just that's too much for me. Like I couldn't too many things. And also, don't you want to like separate those things and enjoy them?
No, I think you just want to celebrate, like, because that's now when people ask him what's the best day of your life, he can say the day I won the Super Bowl, also because I proposed to my wife. But before, if they were separate days,
No,
right?
see, no,
If they
that's
were if they were separate days, people would be like, "Oh, what's the best day of your life?" And he'd say, "Well, the day I won the Super Bowl." And then his wife would look over and be like, "What about the day you proposed to me?"
No, stop it.
Yeah, that's
No.
why he did it.
No, that's ridiculous.
That's why he did it.
You want to separate those moments because now he's got to go fly around, be in parades, and she's just sitting home alone.
Martha said, "How about the guy who had a baby that night?
What night?
One of the players had a baby.
What night?
Maybe yesterday. I don't know. I'm not sure of the night that Martha's talking about in the chat. But what did you think? So we watched
last night. Okay.
we watched the whole Super Bowl. What did you think of the Super Bowl in general, Carla
That's
Marie?
cool. I'd do it again.
And who were you cheering for?
The Bengals.
Yeah, same. And
But I'm not sad.
No, I'm not sad. I'm a little sad because I was really hoping the Bengals would win. But the way that the Rams ended up winning the Super Bowl, the three players who essentially carried the whole team on their back after Odell Beckham got hurt, I'm happy for the three of those guys. So I think the way that it ended, if it wasn't going to be a Bengals win, was the next best scenario. So what?
Okay, continue.
So, and the reason I say that is when the Rams were down, you had Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp kind of carrying the whole team. Every play seemed like it was Matthew Stafford,
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp.
It's pretty wild.
And both of those guys are pretty easy to root for because Matthew Stafford did his time in Detroit for 12 years. It was a miserable, miserable time there in terms of winning. And Cooper Kupp is just an easy to cheer for guy. I mean, he is like an Eastern Washington guy.
He looks like one of the Paul brothers, though.
He does have the Jake Paul haircut right now. Easy guy to cheer for because he wasn't like a huge prospect, but now he's a Super Bowl MVP.
And he's
Because
the
of
one
his
you were
performance.
talking about on the show, I believe,
Mhm.
how his girlfriend worked to support
Yep.
the both of them so that he could focus only on football, and she helped him with his paper, like
Yeah, when
schoolwork
they
and
first
everything.
got to Eastern Washington, I guess he was playing football and he had a part-time job, and he was just so tired that he wasn't putting all the effort into football. And she was the one that said, "No, I'm going to support us both. I'll work as much as possible while I'm in school. We'll live in an apartment together." And
And now
she
they're
kind of
married with
carried him
2
through it.
kids.
And then the other thing is Aaron Donald, another pretty easy, or Darnold. How do I say it?
Donald.
It's Donald, right? Did I mess that
I
up?
love that guy. He was crying.
So, yes, he was the one crying at the end. So he's also a pretty easy to cheer for guy, and he had the final 2 plays of the game to shut the Bengals down. I mean, they were
He was
physically,
like-
he was the only one that really got in there
Yeah.
and stopped the
He
Bengals
did the
from moving.
grab,
He did the grab. So I think
yank.
it was a great second option for
Well,
what I
there
wanted to
was
happen.
the only second option.
No. My first, if I could have chosen, I would have had a Bengals win. So if that's not what I was going to get as a fan, that was a great replacement. That was a great substitute for what I wanted. You understand what I'm saying?
But it was the only substitute to what you wanted, is what I'm also
No, they
saying.
could have won. The Bengals could have had a terrible game, and someone else on the Rams could have had a great showing.
You know, I was thinking about it also. I wanted the Bengals to win, but I'm kind of glad that Joe Burrow, like, he would have been so cocky for the rest of his career. Like, now he got knocked down a peg.
Joe Cool.
Yeah. He needed that. Can I
He
eat
was,
this?
yes, you can eat one of those. He was, you know what's funny? As confident and cocky as he is, and I feel like the public generally doesn't like cocky players that aren't on their team, I think most of the country was pretty cool with Joe Burrow. I think they all wanted him to do well. Okay. And then, what?
Jill said, I love seeing Hot Coach just a little bit longer.
Oh, McVay?
I've never seen that guy smile before. I like him even more now.
Because he was smiling after he won the Super Bowl? I mean, it's crazy. That guy's 30, I think 37, 36 or 37. The other coach was 38. And one of the coaches from McVay's staff is probably going to get the Vikings job. And you're going to have 3 coaches under 40 next year.
Yeah, but like,
it's pretty cool.
They're not that young. We're just old.
No, young for head coaches. They're not saying young in terms of your whole life. They're not saying they're teenagers. And McVay got his job at 30.
We're slacking.
So that's a pretty big deal.
Ricky said, how long were you thinking about eating that, CM? I've been staring at them. And Mishi taught me, said, wow, those look delicious.
Oh, yeah? She may have made them. So Ricky actually messaged me and asked me about the halftime show, which I don't have on here, but it's part of the Super Bowl, so figure it out. What I think the halftime show is probably...
It was iconic.
This is going to be a weird comment until I explain it. It was my favorite halftime show, but the second best halftime show.
That's fair. Is the first still Aerosmith and Britney Spears?
No, the first is still Bruno Mars. I still think Bruno Mars had the most fun, easily enjoyable.
All-encompassing.
Yeah, it was just a great vibe.
I can get behind that.
Now, that doesn't mean I liked Bruno Mars more. I actually liked yesterday's more. I would go, if I was ranking my own, like this is Anthony's favorite halftime shows, it would go last night's halftime show with Dr. Dre and the cast, then Lady Gaga, then Bruno.
Oh, Gaga.
Because Gaga was also phenomenal. And Gaga did, if I remember correctly, she was all by herself.
Yes.
No special guests, nothing.
Yes. I guess if I'm removing the fact that I was a child and obviously loved Britney Spears, like, I don't know, though. Because, like, Britney Spears was performing with Aerosmith and NSYNC. Like, you can't beat that.
You could say that's your favorite. No one's going to crucify you over it.
But, like, me as an adult was like, this is awesome. Like, last night I was like, thank you for finally giving me what we needed.
A lot of people said Prince was their favorite halftime show. I saw that on Instagram and on Twitter a lot. I'm not a huge Prince fan.
I'm not saying it was a bad show.
Yeah. And you can rank it wherever you'd like. I'm sure a lot of people rank it very high.
My mom was complaining all day yesterday before the Super Bowl. She's like, I don't know any of these people. And I said, listen, lady, it's past your prime for Super Bowl performers. The doo-wop people couldn't come out of the nursing home. You're done. You had your time. It's ours now.
Let's see. Dana on Long Island said New York, and I was about to say New York City. NSYNC and Aerosmith is her favorite.
Yeah, it's...
Gaga's the queen, says UK Frog, who has an actual queen in
Jordy
his land.
Matthews, though, I did want more Eminem.
I think we got just enough Eminem.
Nah, what did he sing?
What do you
Lose
mean?
Yourself?
Yeah, Until I Collapse.
Nah, we needed some... Will the real some Slady?
And it's
Slim
funny.
Shady, please stand up.
When Kendrick Lamar was there and he kept saying that line about Forgot About Dre, I looked across and I was like, oh my God, that's how they're going to mix it. They're going to go from Kendrick, and it was the way they mixed it and the way they did everything. I thought the set was probably the best set they've ever had. In the Super Bowl show.
That was so cool.
Because normally it's just like a pretty boring stage.
Well, I said it's normally just like a concert.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be because it's the Super Bowl halftime show. It shouldn't be a concert. It should be a show. And last night was the first time that kind of happened because you didn't have all these people who are like big time clients and their kids on the field waving their stupid signs. Like, it was a show.
Yeah.
It wasn't a concert.
So I think the set was the best. I think the way they used the set and moved around and kind of told a story almost. I think it was the best like theatrical production they put on in the Super Bowl. And maybe this is what we're going to see more and more because they probably wanted less people on the floor because of COVID protocols or something. I'm assuming that's why they didn't like pack it in with fans.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really, really well done. Every song was a smash. There was nothing where I was like, I don't really want to hear this. Every song was really good. And the memes are great, too.
50 Cent coming out of nowhere from the ceiling.
50 Cent was good. And, you know, I feel bad for 50 because everyone's like, oh, 50 Cent, more like $1 now. It's like, man, he came out with that music. And if you're not familiar, by the way, with 50 Cent, the reason he was hanging upside down and then, like, rapped for a couple seconds upside down is the music video. And he wore basically the same thing in the music video for that song.
Jeans.
So, no, but that very specific cut of a tank top. And he was like working out in this like, I don't know, high-tech gym lab thing in the music video. But everyone's like, oh my God, he got big. It's like, yeah, that was 25 years ago or something. Guy's almost 50 now.
Is he fit? Oh my God.
50 is almost 50.
What do we do for his 50th birthday?
He might actually be 50. And I also think 50 would still beat me up. I mean, he was bigger, but his arms are still pretty jacked. How old is 50? What do we see in here?
It's 50. Something
Okay.
50. 46.
Okay.
He'll be 47 in July.
Yeah. And it's funny because I think our generation, there's a lot of memes that talk about this. But if you're a millennial, you're like, oh, they finally, built a show for us. It's like, oh no, we're just older now. So we get those things.
Yeah.
We get the halftime show for our generation.
The meme that I saw that I laughed,
It's not the Who.
It was my exact thought process yesterday, was everybody born between 1985 and 1995 saw the Super Bowl halftime show lineup and was like, sweet. Instead of doing a show for old people like Rolling Stones or Paul McCartney or The Who, they did one for us young people. And then 10 seconds later, it hit us.
Yeah. We're just not the young people anymore. If they were doing a show for the young people, it would have been, I don't know, BTS. Who knows?
Oh my God, could you imagine? People would have been like, what is happening? I would thoroughly enjoy it.
So then what do you rank as your top three?
Britney Spears and Aerosmith.
Okay.
Bruno, and then Yesterday.
Okay.
Lady Gaga.
So then you put Yesterday's fourth on your list.
No, I guess. But it wasn't bad. I'm not mad.
No, you don't have to say that.
I don't like this.
No one's going to come after you.
They will.
Who?
People.
I doubt it. Now, if like Dr. Dre or
it's-
Snoop comes after you, that'd be great. That'd be funny.
I'm reading the comments, sorry.
Okay. Well, you were in the middle of a thought.
I don't know. Oh, I was going to talk about Shaq.
What are you going
Have
to
you
say?
seen the video of Shaq?
Well, he was like, he does the tongue thing. Yeah, that was weird. So explain the Shaq thing, though.
Oh, I thought we were going to be able to pull up the video.
You got to give me a little warning there. Unreal.
Don't do it. Anyway, because there were 1 million famous people there
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, like 1 billion, because it's in LA, obviously. And they go to like Cardi B, and then they cut to Shaq, and he looks at the camera on like the Jumbotron and does the tongue thing for a very long time with his very long tongue. And it was just like, why did this just happen?
Shaq is one of, I think, the best personalities that we have in sports and entertainment. He just, everything about Shaq is funny. But he's also like a charitable, kind person.
We've met him. He's a great dude. Ask
One of
me
the best-
for some hand lotion.
One of the best athlete, or one of the best basketball players, not athletes, that we've ever seen. Like, he kind of is a great broadcaster. Everything that he does is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I did see a comment in here. We're going to move on to the Super Bowl ads, which I thought overall were pretty lackluster.
What? No. You know what? They were fine.
Exactly, but they should be
Like,
fine.
what do you want them to be?
I don't know. I wanted more comedy.
Okay, was it?
And there was
Anthony?
also a lot of
Were you watching the
commercials.
Super Bowl or the commercials? I think they get rid of the commercials moving forward, and I want to see how many people still watch the Super Bowl.
Everyone.
No, I won't. I would literally have done anything else yesterday.
But you were
I
into
would
the
have
game.
gone out, come home, watched the concert, and then gone back out.
But you say that, but you were into the game. You were like watching it, commenting on plays and stuff.
No, I was doing Wordle.
Okay. I think they were lackluster. If I do like crypto.com was the QR code that bounced around the screen like the old Windows
It was
screensaver.
Coinbase.
That one was pretty cool. Just they were including like the nostalgia of that screensaver, the fact that it was a thing from The Office that everyone like waited until it got into the corner, and then once it did that, the actual information for the brand came up.
It was cool.
QR code, just having a great run. Last 3 years for QR codes have been real big.
Oh, yes. Court. I love that one.
Which
The
one?
Polaris one throwing, as they say, or Polaris.
Which?
Oh, no, Volt. It wasn't.
Oh, the car.
Yeah.
Polestar is the car.
Polestar.
I actually went to their launch event here in Seattle like 2 years ago. Really cool looking car.
The whole commercial was just throwing digs at Tesla, and I was like, oh, shit.
And if you're not aware of because Polestar still is not like a huge company. I actually just saw the first one ever on the road for me. It was parked at the gym, and it's a partnership with Volvo. So Volvo owns, I believe, 50% of that company, and it's electric cars with Volvo production.
Yeah.
And they look really cool. 100%, if I look to buy an electric
really
car,
cool.
I'm going to look at that car.
The Jones one was also great, everyone is saying.
Jones one was probably the most creative and the funniest.
Yeah, because then Joe Jonas showed up, and I was like, cool.
Yeah. And then we actually had a friend of ours in one of the ads. So
ClickUp.
ClickUp is
It's an app that their tagline is it's an app to replace all the other ones. And it's like you can upload your documents, you can put tasks in there, you can like set goals. So it's kind of like a organization app, essentially. And he works for that company. And people might know who he is. Like he was Paul the Web Guy.
Paul the Web Guy at
Used to work with
iHeartRadio
him.
for a really long time. He's married to
Christina Perry.
Christina Perry. And he was in the commercial. So if you watch that commercial back, he is the old guy, the colonial looking man who is sitting at the desk, like ready to sign something.
It's the Declaration of Independence. It's supposed to be.
It had nothing to do with ClickUp.
No, I watched it back. It's the
you did? Okay, yeah.
Declaration of
So
Independence.
he's the one who's sitting there getting ready to sign it. Because
He's
the
getting ready to
Declaration.
sign something.
No, because the Declaration of Independence one confused me because it was
a different.
also very close to the one that Larry David did, which
Yes.
I also thought was very good.
Yes. That's
I just thought it was a bunch of old guys together. But if you watch that commercial back, Maria Ian Beemore says her company uses ClickUp. Well, watch that commercial back and give a shout out to Paul the Web Guy,
he played.
who used to be, by the way, his start in radio and entertainment was
He
he was
played
the
John
digital-
Hancock,
okay.
the guy who signs things.
So he was the digital director web guy for
Yep.
KTU originally, and then did stuff for iHeartRadio.
That commercial
So he's the one sitting down.
in the middle.
The LeBron one was interesting, but also very creepy. If you remember the LeBron commercial, he's talking to himself. A lot of the basketball community liked it a lot. I wasn't a big fan of it because there's a bunch of basketball accounts that I follow, and they were like, "Yo, that was so tough."
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just kind of creepy.
Yeah, it was weird.
And Martha also mentioned that there were too many crypto commercials. Now, here's what I love. One of my favorite memes that came out of yesterday was, I still don't believe in crypto because I've never had to watch a commercial for money. Regular money doesn't have commercials. Like, you should use us.
That actually would be funny. A bank should do that. Use
And
money.
banks obviously compete for our
I know,
our
but
attention.
like a bank should do a sponsor, like do an ad about dollars.
Let's see. Yeah, Jordy Matthew, I had a similar reaction to the LeBron commercial because it's cool when you see him talking to himself. So
It's creepy.
At first you're like, this is pretty cool, but then it goes on. You're like, this is actually kind of weird.
Okay, I have a question though. Maybe way back in the day, people used to trade like with beans, right? And then money came out, and people had to be convinced that their beans were worth paper dollars. And we didn't have Super Bowl ads.
Yeah, I don't think that's how
You
it
don't
works.
think there were people that are like, I don't trust this paper. My
Yes.
beans are what I use, and that's what it's worth. Like
there were people who didn't trust the banks, but it was gold that they were hanging on to, not beans.
before gold, there were beans.
Those shells.
Nope.
I don't think anyone traded beans. They may have bartered their beans for another product or good.
Oh, yeah. That's how you pay for things.
Let's
So
see.
I gave up beans for an ox.
How many beans would you have to trade for an ox?
I don't know. It depends what kind of beans.
Let's see. Oh, Seattle Cocktail Club said, but that actually happened with whiskey as currency.
So, yeah, I don't trust the dollar. My whiskey is worth more than your stupid fake dollar. It's paper. This is whiskey.
I mean, money is kind of fake and made up, so that is true. Let's see. That was a big part of the whiskey rebellion.
We need a alcohol fact per day. New rule.
I'm sure we know the people to get one.
Oh.
Yes.
I'll wait till the end.
Of what?
The show.
Oh,
When we
okay.
talk about Seattle Cocktail.
So this is something that, and we're going to pivot for a second away from the Super Bowl. We can always come back to it. But I did mention that I was going to say this if you listened to our My Day Friday podcast. I said something happened to me at the gym.
Oh.
Right before we recorded the My Day Friday podcast that I didn't even tell Carla Marie this happened yet. No one knows.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been bothering me since, and I don't know how I feel about it. Okay? And you're allowed to have whatever feeling about this story that you want to have. I will not take offense. Okay? So I was minding my own business here at LA Fitness in Ballard. And I go to fill up my water. And this older guy who's like, and I don't mean older like our age or slightly older than that. I mean, he was a much older man, like a senior citizen, came up to me. And I had my headphones in. And he kind of waved to get my attention. So I took my headphone out. And he goes, excuse me, can I ask you a question? I went, sure. He goes, well, you see, this starts off great. He says, you seem like a big, strong guy. And I said, well, sometimes. Can I ask you a favor? I said, yeah. What? I thought he was going to ask me to like move something, help him like take weights off of something. I don't know. He goes, you see that guy over there? And right away, I was just like, oh, this isn't going to be good. He goes, you see that guy over there? So I look over at the bench press area where he's pointing. And I said, yeah, I see him. He goes, well, he's not wearing a mask. And in Washington, in King County specifically, there's a mask mandate. I think in the whole state, there's a mask mandate. So he goes, he's not wearing a mask. He's not covering up at all. Do you think you could go and say something to him?
No, that's just what the front desk is
And I was
for.
like, well, and this is where my immediate reaction was going to say, well, why don't you go tell the front desk? And then I realized, wait a second. I don't want the guy to get kicked out of the gym. Maybe it would actually be better if I just went and said, hey, there's a guy who would.
Sorry, describe the person who asked you.
Is a much older man.
Oh.
Much older guy. So.
Were these the two guys that you saw fighting another day?
No. Different
Could
old
you
guy.
imagine he was trying to get you involved in
No, different old guy. And the guy who he was pointing out, pretty generic looking white guy. Like
Could you
dark
have taken-
hair, a
could you
little
have
younger
fought
than
him?
me. Huh?
Could you have fought him?
I mean, probably.
Okay.
Unless he knew like some martial arts that I don't know. So I'm looking at the guy and he's on the bench still working out, right? So he's in the middle of working out. He's not walking around the gym. He says, would you mind talking to him and tell him to put the mask on?
This old guy, who does he think he is?
So I went to the old guy. I said, listen, I'll keep an eye on him. I said, I'm not going to tell him while he's working out on the bench. I said, but if he goes from station to station without a mask on, I'll say something. Because I wanted to give the guy the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes you do pull your mask down if you're having difficulty breathing while you're working out or if you're breathing in really deep, okay? So the guy walks away. The old guy walks away. The younger guy without the mask is still on the bench. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of in the same area now, unfortunately, working out, because that's where my workout took me.
I would have left. I would have immediately put my weights down, ran out of the stairs, left all my stuff at the gym.
And I'm like, I'm now oddly getting nervous, because I'm like, I told this guy I would do something. I have to do it.
You're a man of your word.
So the guy without the mask walks from the bench press area to like the cable pulley area.
Without a mask.
Without a mask. And I was like, oh, I said I was going to do this, and now I have to go do it. So I went up to him, very kind, right?
I would have said, hey, that guy over there wants you to put a mask.
So, and this is where I wasn't even sure if I should have gotten involved, but at the same time, like I said earlier, I didn't want the front desk to get involved. I didn't want it to be like an official thing for the guy. Because he obviously walked in with a mask.
I'm nervous. Where is this going?
Because he obviously walked in with a mask. Because you can't get into the gym without a mask or showing your vaccine card, right? Like they have to mark you off that you got vaccinated. So maybe he just took it off at one point and forgot, which happens.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not trying to make every person who's not wearing a mask a villain. So I'm in the same area. The guy now still has the mask off. He's gone from one workout station to another. The old guy asked me to say something. So I said, all right, I'm going to go up to him. I go up to the guy, and he has his AirPods in. So I got his attention after he was done with his first set, and he pulls out his AirPod. I said, hey, man, just wondering. Or I didn't say just wondering. I was like, hey, would you mind just when you go from one station to another throwing a mask on?
Oh, no.
And he just looks at me and goes, I'm sorry, what? First off, you heard me. I'm right next to you. So
this is
whatever.
why I don't watch shows that have expense.
So now I tell him again, I said, I just was hoping, or I said something like, would you mind putting your mask on if you go from one station to another? Not while you're working out.
Also, he
I
has no
understand
right being a dick. It's the fucking rule.
So then he goes, I don't know. Do you work here? And that's when that was the comment that got me mad.
Yeah.
Because he didn't say, no, I won't wear a mask. What he was saying was, you have zero authority and I don't respect you as a human.
No.
And I said,
now we're throwing down. I'm going to LA.
So right when he said, I'm sorry, do you work here? I said, no. And I was still being very calm, right? I wasn't trying to get into a fight. I wasn't trying to be aggressive. I wasn't trying to prove a point. He says, do you work here? I respond with, well, I don't work here, but a gentleman had asked me, he's an older guy. He asked me if I could ask you to put the mask on. He goes, well, you don't work here.
That guy should be never allowed back in the gym.
And then I said, well, listen, man. And this is exactly my tone. I promise you, I'm telling this story as accurately as I possibly can.
Okay.
This is exactly my tone. And I said, listen, man, I could go get someone that works here, but neither of us want that. I don't want to waste my time doing that. You don't want that. I was like, all I'm asking is when you go from one station to another, just throw a mask on.
You do the one thing that we're supposed to be doing.
So he looks at me, and now I've keep in mind, I have only said when you walk from one station to another. I've now said it like 3 times. He goes, well, I'm not wearing a mask when I work out.
Then go home and work out in your garage.
And I said, I understand that.
I hate this guy.
I said, all I'm asking you to do is go when you're going from one to another, one station to another, just throw the mask on. Not a big deal. And he goes, yeah, I'll see about that. So I said, okay. And I walked away.
I'm going to go to the gym today and say he was bullying me.
Now, I walk away, and he's on that station, that pulley station, for a while. And I am, at this point, what was I doing? At this point, I think I was pretty close by. Right? I don't know the exact station. This old man was
so right going to you.
And then a guy from the actual gym, like the manager who was there, walks over to the same guy who I just spoke to. So I don't know if he saw him.
And tattled him.
I swear to God I didn't.
Okay.
So I don't know if
it's not a title.
I don't know if someone else told on him. I don't know if the old man thought that I took too long. Or the guy might have just saw him on his own and said, I'm going to go talk to this gentleman. And right away, the guy took the mask out of his pocket, put it around his mouth for a second. Then, like, when the guy walked away, he put it around his chin.
All right, that guy's getting tossed.
But here's my problem, is I am all for you protesting. I'm all for you being a tough guy if you want to be a tough guy. But don't be a tough guy situationally. Don't be a tough guy when you think the odds are in your favor. Because I would have actually respected that guy way more if the manager came up to him and said, hey, could you put a mask on? He said, no, kick me out. Or no, call the cops. Like, if you're going to make a stand, and here's the other part that really bothered me about that guy, is he walked in, I know he walked in with a mask. So he knew the rules.
Also, what kind of, like, we're all working out with masks on. What kind of lungs do you have? None? What a jerk.
So
I told you to freeze my membership because I didn't need to go. I'm going to come to, is he there today? What time
I've never seen the guy before. And normally I don't go at that time. It was a weird time that I went to the gym.
I will drop a weight on that man's toe.
And it was just
on purpose.
I am over masks as well. They're a little bit annoying in the gym. And
I know.
I hate it. The gym is the only place where I actually find them annoying. Everything else, I'm just like, I really don't care.
But also, there are older people who may have health issues that are working out because they need to. They can't be sitting at home for 2 years.
And I don't even want to make it like a.
Just show some respect.
I guess that was more of it. Was you knew the rules. That's how you got in here, by abiding by the rules. And then the second you got past like the authority figure of the front desk, you thought you could do whatever you wanted.
I hate this guy.
And that's what annoyed me the most, was that very specific thing. And it is about respect. And I could see an argument where you would say, well, the masks aren't needed in the gym if everyone is already vaccinated and has to show vaccination in there. But I can understand the argument, right? Like, I know that they are a little bit of a nuisance. I know that they're a little bit annoying. But at the same time, you knew the rules when you walked in.
Yes.
And you abided by the rules so that you wouldn't get kicked out. But you didn't do it for the people, the fellow gym patrons who are working out next to you. And that was the annoying part for me.
I can't wait to ruin this guy's life.
Let's see. LA Fitness and Lacey doesn't ask for a vaccine card, and every time I go there, they're like 3 or 4 people with no mask on at all. So they should have a mask on because I believe that's the Washington mandate at the moment.
See, like,
but Lacey is not in King County. I think King County is the only county that has the vaccine mandate.
This is the thing for me, though. Like, this is the part of me that doesn't want the mask mandate to go away so we can keep, like, draining the swamp of these people. I'm still draining the swamp for myself.
Let's see. Elizabeth said this happened to me on my flight from NYC back home. Guy told the flight attendant, I'm having a conversation here, and the flight attendant told him, don't need to take the mask off to have a conversation. Yeah, that's a bad excuse. The person is next to you and they can't hear you.
This man at the gym, you know where he's going?
The trash?
No.
Garbage?
In the garbage.
In the compost?
No, we don't need him coming back. In the garbage. Boom.
And listen, a lot of states are getting rid of all mandates, all vaccine mandates, all mask mandates. And I think a lot of people are actually, regardless of how you feel about the vaccine or the pandemic, I think a lot of people are finally excited to see that. But it hasn't happened here in Washington yet. And that guy sucks.
Every state is like, no more masks for kids in school. And Washington's like, all right, you don't have to wear a mask outside.
Yeah. Although I did read somewhere that by early March, possibly by your birthday, there will not be a mask mandate in the state of Washington.
But every event and every private company will be able to tell you what you can and can't do.
Yeah. Honestly, and this is, I don't own anything that people have to show up to, so it doesn't matter. I would just go by the state guidelines, mainly because I just don't feel like dealing with the headache of everyone else. What, Carla Marie?
My mom just popped in here. Wear a mask. Better to be safe than sorry, vaccinated or not. Bam.
Yeah.
Like, working out, I'll probably not be wearing a mask. Because
once the mandate's off?
On an airplane, I will be wearing a mask.
Oh, yeah, on airplanes. And I think that might last a little longer.
The FAA?
And what people forget is there were people who would wear masks on planes before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I know it's more of an East Asian thing, but people would do it. And I'm kind of hoping it stays on the planes.
Man, Fred has got the best job in the world right now. He just said, I don't wear a mask, but I don't go anywhere that I need to wear one.
Yeah.
Just walking around being a mailman.
Yeah, except it's in Ohio and it's cold and snowy. Have you seen Fred's posts? He's walking through like feet of snow all the time.
Oh, that's true. We're going to go to Nashville. It's going to be...
Yeah, there's no mask mandate there. And
oh my God, I get to work out in Nashville without a mask.
And again, it goes back to my problem with the guy. And if you just joined us, had a little bit of a friction type moment with a guy at the gym because I was asked to tell him to put a mask on. Again, my problem actually has less to do with the mask itself and more to do with the guy and his attitude towards the people around him. That is my problem.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you don't want to wear the mask, then just don't go to places that require you to wear a mask. That's really, that's the workaround. You can't go to a place that is being asked and required by the state to enforce a mandate and think you can make up your own rules.
I wish diarrhea on him.
Let's see.
I'm going to go sit outside the gym for the next 2 days until I see that man. I'm going to follow him home, and then I'm going to light his house on fire.
Front of the mailman said, walking through the snow delivering mail is poor man's CrossFit. I would rather do that than CrossFit. Every time I see a CrossFit gym, I just think, that's not for me. And I know people love it. I have friends who go all the time. Just, I don't think it's for me. I don't like, and people are going to get mad at me if they do CrossFit. It's a little culty.
So is I just started going to Orange Theory. Just as culty as Barry's boot camp.
But I think that's why I like going to my own gym. Or not my own gym, but going to a big box gym that I don't have to follow anyone's program. I don't have to interact with anyone if I don't want to.
I know, sounds pretty culty. You're telling people what to do at that gym.
All right, we're going to move on from that, though. And I guess before we move on, I do have a question for the chat. And again, I would agree with both a yes and a no response. So don't feel like you have to respond in a certain way to make me feel better about myself. If the same old man went up to you and asked, hey, could you tell that guy over there to wear a mask? I mean, he was definitely over 65. Okay. And he was little. He was a little guy. He was very small.
So originally I was like, hell no, I would have just went and got the front desk. But I think there would have been a part of me that was like, no, I'm doing this for that old man. So again, and maybe I could put up a poll. Here, give me a second. Also, how do you say grandpa or grandfather in Arabic?
Sido or Jiddo.
So
Both of those
I
are...
think so Martha spelled it
G-I-D-O?
G-I-D-D-O and asked, was he?
Yeah, he was definitely a grandpa.
But then Augie was like, do you mean Guido? I was watching that play out as you were telling the story, and I was like...
Would you have told the guy to put a mask on?
But, like, here's the other thing is that guy, that happens now, right? So now I wonder if he will continue to go to the gym with the mask on or not.
What do you mean?
Like, what's he going to do today? Is he going to go through all of that? Like, just wear the mask and not deal with people. I
don't know. I went to the gym at right before like gym rush hour, which is usually between 4 and 6:30. So I'm never usually there around that time. So I've never seen the guy before. But I'll give you the 2 points. Maybe I should have said something. And I think the hero aspect definitely kicks in, right? You're asked to do something. He's an older guy, can't do it himself or doesn't want to do it himself. So there's definitely this selfish, like, oh, I'm going to be the hero of this situation aspect of it, right? But you remove that for a moment. Is that you're laughing at your mom's comment? So if you remove that hero part for a second, right? The main reason I really said I agreed to do it, and definitely the hero thing was in the back of my mind, but the main reason I agreed to go tell the guy to put a mask on was I actually didn't want it to escalate.
Yeah.
I just thought that maybe I could be the person that's like, hey, not a big deal. Just throw down from station to station. No one's going to bother you. Because a lot of people at the gym, while they're doing the actual exercise, will have it around their chin. And I totally understand that.
But yeah, I'm running on a treadmill in a 60-minute class wearing a mask the whole time.
But the other part of it is, okay, maybe I should have said, no, let's just keep this in an official capacity. I don't need to get involved. If maybe it's better received if it comes from someone who works here. So there is I don't think there's a right or wrong answer
Lisa,
in my mind.
Great question. Did that guy clean the station before he moved to the next one?
I don't remember. I want to say no because he went pretty quickly. Like he finished his thing and then moved.
At Orange Theory, they make you, they give you a wipe in between every time you move stations and you wipe down everything, even though you're wearing a mask. And they're like anywhere you could have blown spit. So they make you wipe off the bottom of the treadmill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting because you're just stepping on it. But
I guess you stretch on
I think pre-pandemic, I used to wipe down everything once I was done with it, mainly just because I'm sweaty and no one should lay in my sweat. But now, most people are wiping their equipment down, so I don't have to wipe it pre-workout. But if I don't see the person doing it, or if it looks like I can't tell if it's sweat or cleaning solution, I'll wipe it down. The tread wipe is for screen touching, says Elizabeth.
No, they literally said, wipe down your screen anywhere you touched or spit. That includes the bottom panel of your treadmill. And I was like, for real? And I thought like it was like, all right, let's get the newbie. And everyone's wiping off the bottom of the treadmill.
Let's see. The poll is almost done, and then we can move on once we see what most people would have done. If they would have actually told the guy or told...
I don't know. I do know that I had another strawberry and there's now chocolate on our tablecloth, so I'm in trouble. So
67% of the people said they would not have told the guy to put a mask on. And I get it, because as I was doing it, I was like, I don't know if I should be doing this. But again, I did have...
It's not a should or shouldn't. I mean, you look at what the last 2 years have been. It's people are yelling at people left and right, and you did not do that.
No, and I didn't... That's the thing I was trying to avoid, 100%. Like, even as the guy was giving me an attitude, I was just like, I'm not going to let this escalate. I'm just going to, I'll say what I have to say. I'll move on.
I wonder what he would have done if right? Like a tiny female went up to him and asked him.
I think he would have been more rude.
I would have kicked him in the nuts.
I think he would have been more rude, honestly.
I'm telling you right now, I would have started screaming in the middle of that gym. You did tell.
I know I did. So very early on, this is from Jolly Russian Buddhist in the chat. Why didn't you tell him that there's an old man here specifically requesting that he wear his mask? I did. And it didn't matter. He had the same exact attitude.
There were a lot of people saying they're so grateful, Anthony, that you saved that story so they could see my reaction.
Well, I thought it was a good story because I could have told it in the podcast, but I think it's better for conversation. You know? Thank you to Felipe for the 5 gifted subs. Appreciate that very, very much.
I'll try not to kick him.
What, kick who?
The guy. They said that would have been assault. Mama Marie said, you should have went to an employee, told them to tell him because people are getting upset. Which we have discussed.
Ended up someone, either the employee, and I guess the guy's the manager. I don't know him because he just started. But I don't know if he's a manager or just a regular, like, hourly employee. He did go up to the guy. And then the guy basically just did the rest of his workout with his mask around his chin. But whatever.
Yeah, Court, I'm with you. I'm just so excited for a time when we aren't arguing over this anymore.
Absolutely.
But there will be something new. I'm not saying even pandemic.
And that was the thing. I didn't really want to get into an argument. I just thought it was going to be a quick thing. To be like, hey, man, if you wouldn't mind. And again, because I wasn't telling him to put a mask on. I wasn't telling him to put the mask on while he worked out. I was just saying when you go from one station to another, just throw it on.
People at that gym, though, as a whole, are some of the most inconsiderate people I have ever come across in my life.
The people who don't know how to put their weights away are. Absolutely.
There's an area at the gym where you have to go down the steps, and it's like a little nook. There's a mirror. You can work out. There's a mat, and that's where I will go and like do some of my Apple Fitness workouts, which means you have to carry weights down the steps, which I do, and then I bring them all the way back up the steps to the opposite side of the gym. People just leave them down there. Not only that, there is also a weight racking station for different kinds of weights. People just don't put them back. Then I watched an old lady do some workout on the mat next to me with no shoes or socks on, and then she didn't clean it. I'm never going back there. I said this 2 years ago. Gym bros are the real plague. You got that right, Fred.
They are. And I like to think that even though I do work out a lot, I am anti-typical gym bro. I'm an atypical gym bro.
But I bet you that people who see you at the gym don't think that.
I don't know.
That old man went up to you and was like, hey, you're a big, tough, strong guy.
Yeah, that was...
We forgot about that part. You definitely love that happened.
I mean, yeah, and I think that's probably more so why I decided to fight for him, you know? Because now you compliment me, and then you're like a little old man, and you're asking me to defend you, and I'm like, well, you just told me I was a big, strong guy, so now I can't say no.
That guy is like the guy from, you know who he's like? The guy from Squid Game. He's making everybody fight, and he's sitting there watching it.
Jolly Russian Buddha said, you look like a gym bro, but act like a dweeb. That's true.
My God, that's such a good part.
That is very true.
You should do it.
And I will say I try to lead by example in the gym. So you've gone to LA Fitness, you know that obviously during exercises you have some downtime. Mm-hmm. So if there are loose weights just like laying around, or if someone doesn't put something back, I will use that 60 to 90 seconds I have of my rest period, and I'll just start putting things away. So I try to make sure people like understand it is a good thing to clean up after yourself at the gym, and it makes everyone's life easier. What Mama Marie said, okay, enough with the old stuff. I think the person was older than both of your parents.
Well, you said 65 about that guy, and my dad is much older than 65.
Well, I said at least, but your dad's also, I feel like your dad's not a little old man. This guy was a little old man. Your dad's a bigger dude. Is he taller than me? He might be.
He's not 6 feet. I know that.
No? Okay.
I think you're both 5'11".
All right.
But he's probably shrinking at this point.
Yeah, part of working out should be putting your weights back.
I do, what are those called?
Farmer walks?
That's basically what I'm doing across the whole gym.
Yeah. Which is what Fred the Mailman has to do like every day for work. You're just doing...
he's got a bag. I wish I could put my weights in a bag.
How heavy are your weights? Who do you think carries more weight?
15s or 20s. So I'm either carrying 30 pounds or 40 pounds. He doesn't have 40 pounds of paper.
I bet you he does. I bet you when he starts, he definitely does.
He definitely does.
All right, what else do we have here on the list? I'm not even on our screen right now. There we go. So we got through the Valentine's Day toast. We got through the Super Bowl and the ads, fighting at the gym. And then, there was someone. The reason I have our Discord server back on here is over the weekend, a couple people were probably watching older episodes and reached out to me on Instagram asking about Discord, asking for the link.
Oh, cool.
If you type in, let me make sure.
Oh my God, my back is cramping.
If you type in the word Discord with an exclamation point, it should come up. There you go. You can hit that link. If that link has expired, let me know. But Discord is a place where even when we're not on the show, we're not podcasting, we can all kind of hang out, chat about different things, and there's different breakout rooms, if you will, for different topics. So if you're in New Jersey and you just want to talk to people who are in New Jersey dealing with the shitty weather and everything,
Mm-hmm.
you can do that. No, the link doesn't work, so I'll have to replace it.
Oh, I don't know why that's okay. Hold
So
on.
it expires.
Also, I can drop it in there.
Okay, you got it? So Carla Marie's going to put the link in there.
Anthony, have you said any words in our Discord, or are you just lurking all the time?
No, I'm more of a lurker in Discord, but I chat sometimes.
Do people miss you?
I don't think anyone misses me.
All right, it's coming.
It's going in there. Yeah, you're hitting a lot of buttons over there. There you go. So that is now the active link. I think every week or so it like resets. So I've got to work on that.
All right, that means I got to edit it other places.
And one of the things that people are talking about, or one of the breakout rooms, I should say, is actually for anyone who's joining Seattle Cocktail District, which is the event. It's on this the paper on the screen right now. But that's what we're doing for Carla Marie's birthday. We've got Ricky and Jake and Erica and John all flying up to hang out and host with us. It's basically a big carnival of cocktails, like Carla Marie has been saying. So there's different districts.
That's their tagline.
There's different areas in Cocktail District for different types of cocktails.
So the map hasn't been released, but I did see it behind the scenes, and it is absurd. Like, you know when you would go to like a college fair or career fair, career day? Imagine that, but alcohol.
And for those, if you are going with a
fun.
group and you are the designated driver, there's food. There's still stuff you can
Yeah.
do without getting wasted. And let's see, Amanda Mo said, still trying to figure out Discord. I'm not going to lie. I'm also still figuring it out. But we're kind of learning together, which has been a lot of fun.
Also, I'm about to drop another link in here.
Oh.
Seattle Cocktail Club is doing a giveaway, so you can win tickets and a hotel stay if you enter here.
All right. But you'd have to fly yourself here still, right? If you're like not from Washington.
Correct.
Just making sure. I don't want him to be like, oh, I won and you have to pay for my flight.
No, I don't.
But it would bring the price down a lot, so maybe the flight's not a big deal. So hit that link. It says seattlecocktailweek.com/win. And you can actually win your tickets and some hotel rooms. Well, one room for some nights. How many nights? What do you know here?
My mom just said, at your age, CM, you may be entitled to senior citizen discount.
I know you're getting a little older.
Where's the contest? Hey, Seattle Cocktail Club, I shared the contest link and now I don't see it.
There you go. No, that's your inbox.
Stand by. Entertain the people.
How am I supposed to do that? Let's see. Cora said, I wish I could make it happen. Yeah, but Cora, you're coming up from Florida, which is a really long flight to hang out for one day. Oh, Becky from Miami said it says a 2-night stay, Carla Marie.
I clicked on the other link that popped up.
Oh.
That was my fault. There it is. Okay.
2-night stay at the State Hotel. Thank you very much, Becky from
I knew
Miami. I do want to shout out Becky from Miami, who, as I'm setting up the show every morning, is almost always the first person to jump in the chat, even before the show is live, to say good morning, everybody.
Okay, that is true.
I know.
I was moving on because everyone is saying that I'm moving to the next age box when you check things
Oh,
off. I
shit.
am not, because a lot of them are till 34 or 35. And I'm still
But some of them.
I am still considered a target for top morning radio. 18 to 34-year-old females. That's all they care about. If you're out of that range, they don't care.
Which is funny because most of the people in that range aren't listening.
And also, most of the people who are on the air in that are not in that range. They're about 97.
So you're moving from 33 to 34. What do you think is going to be the biggest difference? Checking off that little box on some of the applications?
Nothing. My back hurts. My back hurts because I've been doing the rower and I don't know how to row. Whatever. I try new things all the time. I'm never going to be old.
I don't think trying new things can keep your brain young.
Mom.
What?
I tell her that all the time.
What new things would you want your mom to try?
Knitting. I don't know. Anything.
Knitting
Get
is
on
like the
Facebook.
oldest thing that she could do.
She goes on Facebook and scrolls and scrolls and scrolls and then sends me fake news because she plays like a telephone in her head. She's like, guess what I saw on Facebook? I'm like, send me the link. I'm like, that's a fake ad. That's a fake thing. And my dad's starting to do it too.
Let's see. Jordy Matthews said, I just turned 34. It hurt mentally more than 30.
No. 30? Oh, see, here's the thing. 30, I was so amped to turn 30. I make sure that I like big things, like I'm doing something fun or launching something new in my life. Like I launched Side Hustlers at 30 and my website at 30.
Okay. What are you going to do? Is 34 big or is
I'll do
35
something
big?
at 35.
So what are you going to do for 35?
I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see.
Well, I guess I am launching something for 34.
We can't talk about that yet. We can talk about it possibly Thursday. We can hint at it on Thursday. Hopefully it gets done. And actually, this is a good thing to explain right now. So this week, there will most likely not be a trivia game when we launch our show. Mainly because there's a lot of things we've got to get done between now and next week. And the trivia is pretty time intensive. And I've got to focus on a bunch of smaller details for something that's on the horizon in the very near future. Actually, are those two different things? Because on the horizon is like way down there, and the very near future is here. So
I don't know what you're saying. That just confused me.
Okay.
But Court, you're older than me. I'm so confused. She said 34 didn't really hit me, but I feel like the next year is going to be rough. If we ever decide to have a second kid, I'll be considered a geriatric pregnancy. But I thought 34 because my friend got pregnant at 34, and she was considered geriatric pregnancy.
And that's
like, can we pick another
there's got to
word?
be a different name for it than geriatric.
They're like, oh, you're high risk. You have to come in immediately when you get pregnant to get checked. I'm like,
And all of that is good, right? Like, there's
But-
obviously medical data that shows that there needs to be more attention on those pregnancies. But just maybe think of a less demeaning name.
but my mom had me at 34, my sister at 37 or 38, and I don't think she's like she didn't believe me when I was telling her that was a thing now, and we came out just fine.
Yeah, but back then, couldn't you like drink during your pregnancy and stuff too?
Yeah, who was it? Was it my mom? She was like, someone said this to me. They're like, well, it wasn't illegal back then. I'm like, no, it wasn't unhealthy back then. I was like,
It still was. We just didn't know about it.
maybe it wasn't her. My mom smoked with all of us. I'm gonna get in trouble.
But if no one told her not to, then she didn't do anything wrong.
There definitely were ads that were like, you shouldn't do this.
Oh, whatever. It explains a lot, though.
Okay, it's me. Meech said it's if you're 35 at delivery. Well, at this rate,
You've got
I
no
would
other
be.
choice, really. Let's see.
That's also not the announcement. I'm gonna keep drinking.
No, definitely not. Let's see. Andrea from New Jersey said, my mom's doctor told her to calm down and have a glass of wine. Are you allowed to drink at all during a pregnancy?
It's not. So the first trimester is. I'm learning this now. My friend Tatum just had a baby like last week, and I got to meet her, and she's the freaking cutest. So I'm learning a lot. The first trimester is when you have to be like the most careful with a lot of things, and I believe even drinking then, which is crazy because a lot of people don't know they're pregnant and they're drinking.
Yeah, of
But
course.
even like workouts, lifting things, like stuff like that, you can't do in the first trimester. But like, I'll be at Barry's and there's like women that are like, I hear them in the bathroom. They're so pregnant. She's like, yeah, my doctor told me I'm fine as long as I don't go above the speed of 8 on the treadmill. And I'm like,
It's pretty fast. That's a full run.
and she's like, yeah, I'm due next week or something. I'm like, I'm about to deliver a baby in this class and I can't wait.
There was actually a woman who lived down the hall from me in the old apartment building
Yeah.
who would go to the same Barry's boot camp, and she was working out she was doing Barry's boot camp classes a week before she gave birth,
But
like the weekend before.
I think it's like, what, a glass of wine a week or something. There's a point where like the baby's brain and stuff are done growing. It's something like that where it's fine.
All right.
But I'm not saying get drunk and have a kid.
All right. What else do we have here?
Oh, that's right. Court said I was drinking and taking Dramamine the first couple of weeks of my pregnancy because we were on vacation. I stopped as soon as I knew I was pregnant. Yeah, they were vacationing here in Seattle,
We were the first people to meet the baby, technically.
but nobody knew it.
Listen, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thank you for being patient with us as we learn new things and play around with our internet. Hopefully, we won't have the same internet issues we had last week, which held us up on a couple different things. We are doing our best, and we're doing our best to do some new things in the very near future. So hopefully, we can share that with you in about a week, right?
Yeah.
And again, thank you for keeping us going with the Hype Train streak. We're now, I think,
Oh.
2 full weeks in a row of getting to Hype Train level 5.
Lisa said you can absolutely tell the difference in the internet. Do we sound better and look better?
Well, there's probably less lag.
I'm going to have another strawberry.
All right, you do that.
You didn't have any.
I will have one once I hit this little screen. You look great.